Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do everyday no makeup look. You know, we all want that nice glowy skin, soft base, soft eye. So I'm going to be showing you how I do that today. So the first step for this is skincare. This is probably the most important step you can take when doing your makeup to make it glowy, healthy looking and not cakey or dry. So what I like to do first is toner. Now toner is very important step in your skincare. So I like to use the Mario Badescu. This is the Witch Hazel and Rosewater toner. This is really good for refining, those pores, but also for combating maybe those red blemishes you can see. Get them on my cheeks all the time. So I really like to use a toner every day, sometimes twice a day, morning and night. Even if I'm not doing makeup, I'm not wearing makeup, this just helps really keep all that dirt, all the bad chemicals, anything your skin has come into contact with during your day. This just really helps to get rid of that. And then after that, you can use serums, eye creams, gels, whatever you want. But today I am just using this. It's the Simple Protect and Glow Rest and Reset 72-hour Hydrating Gel. So this is just like a really good hydrating moisturizer. It's not too thick, but it really gets the job done. And a little bit goes a long way. Alright, bring you in a little bit closer so you can see all the makeup things that I'm going to do. So now that that's on, I've let that sit for a few minutes. It's still a little bit tacky, but that's fine. So the next step I'm going to move on and do brows. So first thing I like to do is use the Benefit Gimme Brow and just run that through. This is just a bit like a brow mascara, obviously. It's very popular, but if you haven't used it before, it's just sort of like a brow mascara, just adds a little bit definition, a little bit colour. And sorry if I'm looking down my mirrors here. Alright, and then once that's done, I like to take the K-Brow and just run a little bit of that through the front, because we can see my brows are a little bit sparse in the front. So this just helps to define those little front hairs. Not too much, see the difference that made? Just a tiny bit. Okay, and then the next thing I like to do is spot conceal. We're going to carve out these brows and spot conceal. Now, spot conceal is a great way to get rid of any blemishes, any breakouts. It just overall makes your skin look so clean and fresh. Now, my skin is not actually looking too bad at the moment. I have like a tiny little breakout here, but otherwise it's not looking too bad. So I'm not going to do too much spot concealing today, but just to show you, give you a rough idea. So I've got a little bit there. Right, and then you're just going to let that dry, just let that completely dry. And now I'm going to go ahead and carve out these brows. So nothing too dramatic. We're not going for Instagram brows of 2018, but just a tiny bit to really define. And we'll come back to brows at the end once the base and everything is on. So as you can see, that is barely looks like anything. This concealer actually is a really good dupe for the Tarte Shape Tape, but it's a little bit creamier, a little bit less thick. And the best part is the price. It's only a £5. Amazing. Considering Shape Tape's like, I don't even know what it is now, about £25 maybe, more. And it does pretty much the same job. Same coverage, just less thick, less cakey, more creamy, for a nicer glowier finish. So MUA Cosmetics Pro Base, highly recommend. And I'm using shade 120. Okay, let's move on now and do this base. So for foundation, I'm going to use the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I'm actually mixing because I'm a bit in between shades right now. So I'm going to take a little bit of 112 and a little bit of 105, and I'm just going to mix them here on the back of my hand. Now, this does dry down matte, right? It's in the title, matte and poreless. But I quite like that. I have combination skin. If you've been here for a while, you'll have heard me talking about this before. I get more oily in my T-zone area, and then I get more dry sort of around my chin area. But I do like a matte finish versus a dewy finish. I just feel like it stays on for longer. It just suits my skin type better, I think so anyway. But that being said, to bring a little bit of the glow back, I'm using these glow drops. Now, you can get these pretty much anywhere. These are actually from Primark, this one that I'm using right now. I'm just going to mix a tiny bit in with that foundation, and this just brings like a really nice glow. Now, like I said, you can get these pretty much, I think most brands do some form or other of this. It's almost like a liquid highlighter. And as we know, if you've been here again for a while, I'm a Beauty Blender stan. I just prefer it to a brush. See that glow? Great. Okay, now that foundation is on, I'm going to go back in with concealer and just do a little bit on my under eyes. You know, if you're getting on in years like I am, you might be starting to notice those crow's feet. Aging, it happens to us all. Anyway, a little bit of concealer, just a little bit more coverage, like I said, in those areas where I get most oily, my T-zone. And then just using that same Beauty Blender, just blend that out. Oh, the reflection in these frames is driving me mad. If anybody knows how to stop this or a way to prevent this from happening, then please let me know. Because it really, I'm trying to block it with my head, but it's not working out very well, is it? Never mind. Anyway, moving on. Okay, time for not so much contouring. We're not going to extreme contour, but just a little bit of bronzing, bring back that warmth in the face. We're looking a bit flat. So a trick that I learned is, instead of taking it here under your cheekbone, take it just slightly above. And then this is going to give a more lifted effect. A little bit on the forehead, sides of the nose, and a tiny bit under the bottom lip for a plumping effect. It's amazing how you can change your entire face with makeup. Anyway, so let me show you what I mean by lifting. I know some people are very particular about their nose contour, but I'm like, you know, just get it on there, blend it out. You know, we're not trying to be a sculpted babe, we're just trying to get that bronze glow. Right, I've turned one of the lights off because that reflection is just driving me nuts. I'm very sorry if it's distracting. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Anyway, now that all the cream products are on, we're going to move on in powder. So I'm using, again, the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is shade 105. And I'm just taking a little brush. I'm just going to very lightly powder under these eyes so they don't crease. Again, nothing crazy. I'm not baking or anything like that. It's just You know, give it that little bit so it doesn't get too oily. You see all these videos, I've seen so many videos lately on Instagram Reels, TikToks, everything, like, only put powder under your eyes. I'm like, no, I need to powder my entire face because it gets oily. And if you're trying to make this makeup last, you know, 6+ hours, you really need the powder, or I do. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of people out there that agree with that. If you have combination skin like me, you do tend to get a bit oily. Powder is your friend. So you can still see kind of where I placed that liquid bronzer contour shade. But just to deepen it up, we're going to now bronze and blush. So for bronzer, I'm using the standard Hoola bronzer. And just putting that right over where I put that cream bronzer contour shade, whatever it's called. You know what I mean. And then just buffing that out. Blend it out. Blend, blend, blend. Now, blusher seems to be kind of all the range right now. Everybody's doing the blusher over their nose and all of that. Honestly, I've never really been a big blush fan. I don't know, I just haven't. But I did get this one from Tarte Rewards, and it's in the shade Quirky. And it's not like too pinky. It is pink, but it's more of a pinky brown. Let me show you. It honestly barely looks like anything on the skin. It just adds like a little bit rosy, but it's nothing like extreme bright pink, like, you know, what we used to wear in the early 2000s. If anybody is as old as me, you might remember that. Because I do. I had a very bright pink blusher. Let's just say it was not the cutest. Anyway, I'm just placing that sort of just above the apples. A good little trick for this is just smile really big, like, you might look a little bit crazy doing it, but nobody's going to see you, so I think it's fine. Anyway, so you can see that's not like anything dramatic. It's quite natural, quite neutral, quite natural. And if you do want it even more natural than that, then just go back to that bronzer brush and just blend it in a little bit more. Right, let's move on to these eyes because I'm starting to look like an alien a little bit. So because it's everyday natural no makeup, I'm going to use the bronzer again. Now the good thing about using bronzer in your crease is it's buildable, so you can have it be as light or as dark, as extreme as you want. Now you see that was only one dip in the bronzer, and that's done both eyes. Now, like I said, if you press obviously harder, it'll give off more pigment. If you press lighter, use a lighter hand, it'll give off less pigment. Now you can just gently blend that, little circular motions in the crease and up here towards the brow. And you can just kind of keep blending that as much or as little as you want until you get it to your desired taste. So I think that looks pretty good. It's very natural. Now you could totally stop here, throw on some mascara and a lip, and that would be you. But I'm going to do a little tiny wing liner. I feel like it, just because my eye shape is like, I have quite almond shape eyes, so this just really helps again to lift everything. I don't look like I have these big alien eyes, which I guess some people like, but sometimes it does look a bit freaky. Anyway, so I'm not doing anything too dramatic, just a very, very subtle wing. You see, I say that and then it ends up way bigger than you first intended. I guess that's not too dramatic now. The tricky part, let's see if we can replicate it on the other side. Is that symmetrical? I don't know. I can't tell. I think liner's one of the things that's like your eyebrows. What's that saying? Sisters, not twins. I mean, it's not terrible. Not terrible. Although it did end up being way bigger than I first predicted. But that happens sometimes. It's okay. Right, last few steps. Next, mascara. Now, this combo I really love for just everyday makeup like this. So this is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. So the white is a lash primer, and let me show you the difference this lash primer makes. Now, it is nuts. So it's just like a white mascara. You just put it on as normal, as you normally would. Okay, I'm coming super close, but do you see the difference here? Like, that is crazy. It is. Okay, now for the actual mascara. And because we've done that primer, it just makes them look so thick and voluminous. And it also really lengthens as well. Wait till you see this. Again, side by side comparison. Great, like that looks like I'm wearing a lash. It does. Absolutely nuts. There we go, looking less like an alien now. That's much better. Right, let's throw in a lip now. Actually, you could pretty much put any colour lip with this look because it's so neutral that you could do anything. You could, you know, if you were going to an event, if it was like something quite fancy, you could throw in a red lip. But because we're keeping this quite everyday, glam, everyday, neutral makeup, I'm going to do like a brownie nude. So this is the Revolution Soph collection in this shade Fudge. And this is just a really nice nudie brown. I don't know why I think I can talk and do this at the same time. I'll be back. Okay, there we go. See, just very, very natural, very neutral. And what I love about this formula is it's really creamy. Like it does sort of dry down matte, but it's not like so matte that it ruins your lips like other ones I've used in the past. So yeah, really, really like that. So I would highly recommend Revolution lipsticks. Their formula is just so good. These ones, I don't know. It doesn't specify the formula, but it's like a nice creamy matte. I don't know how, I just realised I forgot highlighter. Who am I? Why did I do that? I don't know. I really don't know. Anyway, so before highlighter, I like to use the Mario Badescu facial spray, and this is the one with aloe, cucumber and green tea. Now, after you've done all that powder, you just give this little spray. It just brings some like moisture, radiance back to your face. Now, usually I do this before mascara, so it doesn't run, but I think it's been on long enough now that it'll be dry and it'll be okay. I hope. I'm going to end up with panda eyes. Anyway, for highlighter, ignore the crazy eyes. For highlighter, I'm using the Soph Revolution palette as well. I'm using these two middle shades. You can see this is well loved, this palette. And just highlighting right above where we put that bronzer and blusher. And then also tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, a little bit on the chin, a little bit on the forehead. Look at that glow. Oh, I love this. Honestly, I don't know if I would use another highlighter. I'm sure there are amazing ones out there, but I really like how this looks. Right, last step, let's finish up these brows. So this is Revolution Soap Styler. This looks like this. It's literally just a bar of soap in a thing. So again, taking that spray, I'm going to wet that very slightly, and then using a little spoolie, just rubbing that on, and then we'll just very gently brush it through the brows, and that gives that nice lifted laminated look. I remember when laminated brows were first a thing, I was not a fan. I thought they looked crazy. I thought, honestly, I'd seen like everybody had them all over Instagram, and all I could see was, you know, in the Santa Claus 3, the one with Jack Frost, it just looked like Jack. I don't know why. It just reminded me of Jack Frost. But now I have been converted. Looks pretty good. I've always had quite thick brows. I've never had, even like back in like the early mid 2000s, I think I had my brows done once and hated it. They were so thin, and it wasn't that the girl did anything wrong, it was just I just like them thicker. I just always have. I don't know why. Even when thin brows were super trending, I don't know. I've always had quite thick brows. They are a little bit sparse, granted, in the front, but they've always been quite hairy, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Contradictory? You know what I mean. Anyway, they've always been quite thick, and actually I quite like it. I would never have them thinner ever again. Okay, everybody, here is the finished look. Everyday, no makeup, very subtle. You could wear this literally with any outfit, any hairstyle, any event, anytime, anywhere, any place. It is just one of my favourite makeups to do. It just matches everything. Here is a little close-up in the more natural light. There we go. What do you guys think? Leave me a comment below, let me know your thoughts, or if anybody has any tips or tricks or anything that you do differently, then please let me know. I'd love to hear some feedback and try some new techniques if anybody has any. And also, please let me know if anybody knows how to deal with this glare, because it's driving me nuts. It's driving me insane. That's why I took them down in the first place. Anyway, finished look. Let me know your thoughts below. If you like this one and you want to see more videos like this, then hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every Monday and Friday. And if you want to see any more content from me, any more makeup things, then you can follow me on Instagram at Nicola Savage 22. Alright everybody, take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!